Students, I am going to start the second lesson in biology, sexual reproduction in flowering plants. You know which group of plants are called flowering plants? A group of plants called angiosperms. Angiosperms are commonly called flowering plants. This group is commonly called flowering plants because it is only one group which bloom flower meant for sexual reproduction. If you observe the previous groups of plants like the gymnosperms, pteridophytes, bryophytes and algae, where they not bloom flowers, they not produce flowers. Angiosperms are the only group of plants that produce flowers. What is the meaning of flower? You can give many more definitions for flower. See, flower is the most attractive part of the plant body. Flower is the most attractive part of the plant body. One definition. Second is the flower is the modified shoot. Flower is a modified shoot. That means, see, any part of the shoot of a plant body develop into flowers. The third definition is flower is the flower is involved in reproduction. Flower is the attractive part of the plant body. Flower is modified shoot. Or flower is meant for specially sexual reproduction. The lesson is about sexual reproduction in flowering plant. So flower is meant for sexual reproduction. In previous classes you learnt about the parts of flower. Once again I remind you the parts of flower. See in detail. Flower mainly consists of two important parts. Flower mainly consists of two important parts. First part is the essential whorls. Essential whorls, and second part is the non-essential whorls. Essential whorls, non-essential whorls. See, it is a diagram of a flower. I draw a rough diagram of a flower, right? You all learned in first PU. Right? You know, this structure is called a gynoecium. This structure is a gynoecium, and these two are collectively called androecium, and these two are collectively called the corolla, and these two are collectively called calyx. See, generally there are four parts which are categorized into two major groups. One is essential whorl, other is non-essential whorls. What's the meaning of essential whorls of a flower? Essential whorls of a flower mean the flower, the whorl of a flower, the part of a flower which are involved in reproduction. What is the meaning of essential whorls? Essential whorls mean the part of a flower which are involved in sexual reproduction are called essential whorls. Here, which are essential whorls which are involved in sexual reproduction? See, there are two essential whorl. One essential whorl is the gynoecium. This part is the gynoecium, and second part of essential whorl is the androecium. These two are collectively called androecium. Hence, essential whorls are, which are essential whorls are gynoecium and androecium. Androecium and gynoecium are the essential whorls. Second whorl is the non-essential whorls. What is non-essential whorls? Non-essential whorls mean these are the parts of flower which are not directly involved in reproduction but they help in sexual reproduction. These are the parts of whorls. These are the parts of flower. Non-essential whorls are the parts of flower which are not directly involved in sexual reproduction, which are not directly involved in sexual reproduction. They are the non-essential whorls. See, there are two non-essential whorls. One is the corolla and other is the calyx. Right? See here, this lesson mainly involves with the essential whorls. Is androecium. First part of the essential whorl is the androecium. What is androecium? Androecium is a male sexual structure. Androecium is a male sexual structure. Right? Which consists of an individual unit called stamen. Which consists of an individual unit called stamen. A flower may have, right, 2 stamen, 3 stamen, 4 stamen, 5 stamen or more than 5 stamens. All these stamens are collectively called androecium. All these stamens are collectively called androecium, and a unit of androecium, that means one unit of androecium is called stamen. 10 are collectively called androecium and 1 of 10 is called a stamen. Right? See, it is a stamen. What I am drawing is the diagram of a stamen. Right? A stamen consists of 3 parts. A stamen consists of 3 parts: upper anther, an elongated filament. This part is called anther. This part is the filament. And see, filament and anther are connected through a connection called connective. Right? An upper solar part is called anther, an elongated part is called filament, and the anther is connected to the filament through a connection called connective. See, this is the structure of a single stamen. Anther consists of pollen grains. Anther consists of, right, a powdery mass. Anther consists of a powdery mass called a pollen grain. Generally, pollen grains are yellowish in color. Right? See, in majority of the cases, a stamen have single anther lobe. This is the anther lobe. This is the anther. Right? In majority of the cases, a stamen have single anther. In few cases, a stamen have two anther lobe. Two anther lobe. Right? See, this is the stamen having two anther lobe. See this? There are two anther lobe. These two are the anther lobe. This is the connective. This is filament. Filament, connective, and how many anther lobes are there? Two anther lobes are there. Here, how many anther lobes are there? Only one anther lobe is there. Right? If a stamen have single anther lobe, if a stamen has single anther lobe, such a stamen is called monothecous. What is the meaning of monothecous? Monothecous means a stamen have single anther lobe. Such a stamen is called monothecous. If anther have two anther lobe, if a stamen have two anther lobe, such a stamen is called dithecous. Dithecous is also called bithecous. Got the difference between monothecous and dithecous? Monothecous means a stamen have single anther lobe, and dithecous means a stamen have two anther lobe. See, this is as you went now the anther. This is the anther. This part is anther. If you take a section of anther, transverse section of anther, TS of anther. What kind of stamen it is? The kind of stamen is monothecous, right? What I brought, see, is the monothecous anther, right? A single anther lobe. If you take a TS of a monothecous stamen, TS of monothecous anther, see, under microscope you will see structure like this. You will see structure like this. Right? These are called microsporangia. These are called microsporangia. How many microsporangia are there? In a monothecous stamen, there are two microsporangia are there in a monothecous stamen. See, this is dithecous stamen. What is the meaning of dithecous stamen? Dithecous stamen means a stamen have two anther lobe. If you take a TS of dithecous stamen, under microscope, see, you will see structure like this. You will see structure like this. What are these? These are called microsporangia. How many microsporangia are there? See, there are four microsporangia. That means if a stamen is monothecous, you will find two microsporangia. If a stamen is dithecous, you will find four microsporangia. Inside the microsporangia only, see, pollen grains are developed. ಈ ಮೈಕ್ರೋಸ್ಪೊರಾಂಜಿಯಾ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಏನು ಡೆವಲಪ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ? pollen grains ಡೆವಲಪ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Your syllabus include, see, the diagram of the dithecous anther in detail. TS of young anther. See, this is the case of young anther if the stamen is dichicous, right? This is. If you take a transverse section of it under microscope, you will see the structure like this. This TS of young anther consists of different parts. See, this is a diagram of TS of young anther. TS of young anther, see, externally covered by epidermis. Epidermis is the outermost layer. Epidermis is the outermost layer of the TS of young anther, and the middle layer is called endothecium. Remember, the middle layer is called endothecium and inner layer is called middle layer. Outer layer is epidermis, middle layer is the endothecium, and inner layer is the middle layers. This is the tapetum. What I said earlier, this is microsporangia. Microsporangia is externally covered by a layer called the tapetum. Epidermis, endothecium, middle layer, and tapetum include. That means 4 layers. These 4 layers provide protection to the young anther. Provide protection to the young anther, of which, right, endothecium, it is a middle layer. Endothecium is a middle layer. This middle layer called endothecium, which is hygroscopic in nature. Middle layer called endothecium, which is hygroscopic in nature. What is the meaning of hygroscopic? Hygro, moisture. Scopic, attract. That means middle layer called endothecium, which attracts moisture content present in the atmosphere when it is fully matured. When the anther is fully matured, the endothecium, which is a fibrous layer, which attract atmospheric moisture, as a result of which the anther will swell. After swelling of anther, see, pollen grains which are developed in the matured anther will liberate. That means the main function of endothecium is to dehisce the anther to liberate pollen grains which are formed inside the microsporangia when anther is matured. This is tapetum. This layer is called tapetum. This tapetum is an innermost layer of the anther which provide nutritional support. To the developing pollen grain. And see, inside this there is a sporogenous tissue. This sporogenous tissue which undergoes, right, mitotic division to produce pollen mother cell. This sporogenous tissue which forms pollen mother cells. This pollen mother cells undergoes mitosis to produce pollen grain. Right? See, the main function of tapetum is to provide nutritional support to the pollen mother cell to develop into pollen grain. The kind of the cell division is meiosis. This is the TS of younger